Hi, Prasad. Nice to see a new set of essays from you. Let's take a look and see what you wrote here. This is the letter to your friend apologizing, so let's see what you said. Dear John, don't forget a comma here. That's important. I hope this letter finds you in great health and wealth. I am writing this letter to express my regrets for not being able to meet you during my visit to Venice last month. All right, this is fine. I can't say that all of this is 100% natural. It feels still a little, the word that comes to mind is stilted, a little too formal perhaps, not very, very, very natural. So this feels a little old-fashioned essentially, and not really something we would write to our friends. I hope this letter finds you in great health and wealth. I think more appropriate would be something less formal, maybe something like, Dear John, how are you? It's been so hectic lately that I haven't been able to write you sooner. All right, that's how we would talk to a friend we're writing a letter to. This just, this is something we would write to maybe an old aunt that we haven't spoken to maybe a couple of years or something like that. Okay. And then here, I'm writing this letter to express my regrets. This too feels rather formal. It's a letter to a friend, so the tone must be different. It shouldn't feel so professional. So again, let me start from the beginning. Dear John, I hope everything is well. For me, things have been very hectic this last month, but I wanted to apologize for not being able to see you during my visit to Venice last month. Okay, so something like that. You can see that it's friendly, it's warm. I'm really sorry for not having time. Life has been hectic, life has been crazy. I hope you're doing well, and I'm really sorry for not writing you. So some of these expressions are really much more natural and much more reflective of the way we speak to others. So let's continue. During our prior conversation, we agreed to catch up, it's not one word, in your hometown. However, I was abruptly assigned a business task by my employer to visit my client in your city. I am sure that you might have waited for a long time as I promised a visit to hang out. I thought I could wind up my work as early as possible so that I can give you a call, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I had to stay back at client-provided guest house, and there was no signal to call and update my arrival. All right, again, so what I'm feeling here really, Prasad, is that some of this language, I mean, it's all fine, it's understandable, and it's coherent, and it's, cohesive as well to some extent. But it's the language itself, it just feels rather unnatural, and certainly not precise. And when you're aiming for those higher band scores, like the band 7, 8, and 9, a level of precision is required here. And I'm feeling that some of this just feels a little imprecise. Let me show you what I mean. This is not something that really feels particularly natural. This, during our prior conversation, we agreed to catch up at your hometown. What would feel more natural is, I know that we had plans to meet when I was in Venice. Okay? And then, however, I was abruptly assigned a business task. Yeah, and not even I was assigned a business task to visit my client, but however, I was forced to meet a client at the last minute when I was in town. Okay? I am sure that you were wondering where I was. I don't even think this sentence fits here, to be honest with you, even with my correction. So I had to visit a client in your city. And yeah, I would get rid of that. And then I thought I would finish quickly so that I could give you a call, and then continue the sentence. but due to unforeseen circumstances, I could not call as there was no signal in the area. So something like that feels a little more natural here than some of what you wrote. Okay, let's move on. I have another trip coming up without the inn, which is a lengthy stay with paid leave, singular. Hence is just too formal. You would never say hence to a friend. You would say so. So I believe that would be the right time, as there will not be many distractions from work for me. My trip is on the 11th of November and it will be up to a month. Full stop, no end here. It would be ideal to meet at that time and my family will accompany me. I hope you will accept my apologies and consider the new scheduled visit. I hope to be hearing from you soon. Yours truly. Okay, so this also, consider the new scheduled visit. It just feels too formal. Again, remember, this is a friend. This is a buddy. So I hope you will accept my apologies and that we will be able to meet during my stay. Something, okay? Just something a little different than what you've got here. So yeah, I think it's this understanding of the difference between formal and informal writing that is the weakest area of this letter. Thought a lot of it was quite good, but that was a problem. There seems to be maybe some confusion about what is formal and what is informal. So that's something I want you to work on. Let's take a look at your task 2. All right, traditional foods, fast food. Let's see what you said. First of all, we don't use the in front of globalization, so let's just get rid of that. Globalization has brought us several changes in our eating habits over the past decade. This change has negatively impacted not only our families without on, but also individuals' health. So get rid of on, then this should be individuals with an S and then the apostrophe. So that would have been more correct. I strongly agree that this culture of unprocessed food has affected our health and society. All right, I don't understand that. Unprocessed food is what we want. That's like whole food. That's, this essay is supposed to be talking about this shift towards processed food, and that's negative. So I'm a little concerned here. I don't know what you really mean here, and it's pretty important because this is your thesis statement where you're telling us your position. So it's important that that's accurate and that we can understand what your position is. Foods that are ready to eat have become extremely popular due to their fast means of preparation. People who are living in cities are pretty much occupied with their office time and the rest of the time for their personal life. Well, I think there was a better way to say this. They're pretty much occupied with their office time and personal life. That's it. Hence, this fast-paced life created an avenue for instant foods and an urge for outlets everywhere. For instance, Domino's is one of the ubiquitous brands which prepares pizzas no less than, let's fix that, in under 5 minutes. As these franchises are increasing their branches by opening new outlets, they are reachable to every individual and in turn creating an artificial hunger. It is undeniable that the growth of the junk food industry is increasing to serve the necessity. All right, so here's my question to you. What is, in your opinion, the central idea of this paragraph? In one sentence, what does this paragraph encapsulate? And I'm really interested what your perspective is on this because I didn't really find it. It sounds to me like you're talking about the reasons behind why people are eating fast food. But if you look at the task again, that's not what they've asked you. The question is actually much different. They're telling you that there is a trend away from traditional food towards fast food, and that this trend is negative for families, individuals, and society. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So you said that, well, I already told you that this was a little confusing, that this unprocessed food has affected our health. But here, you really just, like I said, you really just talked about the reasons why people are eating fast food. You didn't talk about families. You didn't talk about individuals. You didn't talk about society. You didn't talk about fast food versus traditional food. So it really feels off topic. I mean, yeah, you're talking about food and you're talking about fast food, but you're not really talking about any of the areas of the essay that you're supposed to be talking about. And so that's really going to affect your task achievement score. Let's take a look at the next paragraph. Although the instantly made food makes our lives easy, there are several health hazards that it brings to our society. Firstly, junk foods are rich in gluten and high carbohydrates, which are extremely harmful substances for the liver and digestive system. Secondly, the excessive number of outlets creates a temptation among the people to dine out, even though they have healthy food at home. Hence, this new food culture is detrimental not only to individuals but also affecting with an A, not an E, the society. For instance, burgers are one widely popular food for those who have a sweet tooth. That doesn't make sense. A sweet tooth is somebody who has a sweet tooth likes sweets, chocolates, cakes, ice cream, etc. So that doesn't work here. It's a wrong vocabulary word. However, this is made up of unprocessed flour, which takes several hours of digestion, in turn affecting our metabolism. A, again here. Hence, this fast food culture is highly health hazard for everybody. No. Hence, this fast food culture is highly negative for everyone. All right, I see hence here, and I see it here. Affecting, I see affecting. Let's see. And then there were some wrong vocabulary words as well. So it needs a little work. For me, the biggest problem is that it doesn't really address the question that you were asked. It's talking about fast food, but other than that, it's rather off topic. You were supposed to be talking about this shift in our diet and how it's affecting those three different layers: society, families, and the individual. You didn't really talk about any of that. So it's going to be considered to some extent, an off-topic response. So let's look at your conclusion. In conclusion, though this advancement in food habits has come up with our lifestyle changes, there are extremely negative impacts that it brings to us, which are here detrimental to our health. All right, for the most part, that's good. But like I said, I thought the task achievement really needed a lot of work, as well as some other areas that we've already talked about. So go ahead, correct these, return them back to us corrected. Let's see a new set of essays where all of this is applied, and I'll be waiting for that. Okay, so good luck.